Hello, cuties. We finally have the final results for the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do, round 2, final stats. We have a lot to go through. I have over 200 slides. It took a very long time to put all this together. Big shout out to all of the data peeps. That's your code name on Discord, for helping organize all of the data and getting those submission forms in order so that I could spend literally several days making this presentation. I hope there's no mistakes in it, but I finished it literally at like midnight last night, so good job me. But thank you guys so much. This is the whole reason we're doing quarterly stats only, or quarterly submissions only for round 3, is because this is a monster and there were so many of you. So anyway, let's just get to it. We got a lot of stats to go through. We're going to go through basically in the top 5 spots for every single prompt, as we've been doing. So I'm going to make myself small and tiny over here. There we are. But welcome back. All right. For anyone who still cares and isn't still too obsessed with round 3 right now, here is round 2's results. So we had people who were doing the self-pub replacements, which is you're still allowed to do this in round 3. The most commonly replaced prompts this is from last time, here is from now, was the new releases was being replaced quite a lot. It's hard to keep up with new releases. Adaptations in second place, and then tied in third was award season and the make a quote. So we had 26 people submit for this, 85 titles in total. So not many of you using it, but it's there if you need to. Our average ratings was about 4.0 rating on these self-pubs. So hey, self-pub books are great. And what's funny is these are the ones that people were choosing. The most common, I would say, series that were being chosen. So we had 12 submissions for Lila Hart's books. I could not show all of the book covers because some of these they would have gotten me flagged. We had 7 people use Adriana French, 5 use Hawk Oakley, and 2 using Stephanie Combs and Valerie Rivers for The Stars Would Curse Us and The Stars Couldn't Break Us. Ta-da! All right, getting into by the hundreds for the 100-page books. Our number 1 book remaining in first place is Thornhedge by T. Kingfisher. In second place is All Systems Red by Martha Wells with 12 people. 11 people read Carmilla, and also I Who Have Never Known Men, which actually moved down in our ranking, and Automatic Noodle with 10 people reading it. We had 821 submissions, 1,055 unique titles. For the 200s, remaining in first place is Piranesi by Susanna Clark, Orbital by Samantha Harvey, and The Hounding by Zenobi Purvis, remaining in second place. And in third place, we have the 3-way tie between The Midnight Library, The Compound, and moving up into the ranking is The Picture of Dorian Gray. We had 871 unique submissions, I should say that as well, and 1,019 unique titles. For the 300s, remaining in first place, but joining it in first place as well, we have With a Vengeance by Riley Sager and Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. And tying in second place is Book Lovers by Emily Henry and Carl's Doomsday Scenario by Matt Dinneman. We had 878 submissions and 1,021 titles. For the 400s, Dungeon Crawler Carl remaining in first place with 15 people reading that one. And Project Hail Mary moving up in the ranking by Andy Weir. Moving down in the ranking is Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. And remaining in our 4th and 5th places, we have Till Summer Do Us Part by Megan Quinn, Problematic Summer Romance by Allie Hazelwood, Rebel Witch by Kristen Cicciarelli, and moving up in the ranking was First Time Caller by BK Borison. We had 753 submissions and 968 titles. For the 500s, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Space SCHWAB. Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. 31 people read that for the 500s. Catabasis moving up in the ranking with 26 people reading it. Moving down in the ranking was The Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook by Matt Dinneman. Remaining in 4th place was Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. 14 people read that. And moving up in the ranking was Rebecca Yarros' Onyx Storm. We had 526 submissions, 877 different titles. For the 600s, we had The Will of the Many by James Islington, with 32 people remaining in first place. Remaining in second place is Quicksilver by Callie Hart. Remaining in third place is The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson. And moving up in the rankings, we have Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros and Oathbound by Tracy Dion. 798 submissions and 386 titles. And finally, for our 700 pages or more, we have The Butcher's Masquerade by Matt Dinneman moving up in the ranking, taking the first spot with 29 people. 26 people unfortunately read Alchemized by Zen Yu. Sorry, sometimes I can't let my personal feelings not come out. The Strength of the Few in third place remains in third place by James Islington. 11/22/63 remains in fourth place with 17 people reading it. And Kingdom of Ash moving up in the ranking by Sarah J. Maas with 14 people reading it. 768 submissions and 350 titles. For our 24-hour readathon, we had 910 unique submissions and 2,572 titles. Big shout out to Frozen Frahole, read 76 books in their 24 readathon. I am assuming a ton of graphic novels or manga, but that was allowed. You're allowed to do those. For the most part, most people read 3 books. 261 people read 3 books. 166 people read 2 books. 156 people, including myself, read 4 books. 87 people only read 1 book during this time, and 84 people read 5 books. Our top graphic novel leaderboard, we had most people reading Heartstopper, remaining in first place with 38 people. We had 22 people reading Witch Hat Atelier. Moving up in the ranking was Lore Olympus with 21. Spy Family also moving up with 20. And then moving down is Cat Plus a Gamer. Our leaderboard for novellas, we had Hot for Slayer by Ali Hazelwood moving up in the ranking, taking that first spot with 12 people reading it. Tying for second place, we had All Systems Red, Space Vampire, and Falling. All of these are part of a series of short stories, which, by the way, yes, in the anthology prompt, you can use things like this because they are all like a partnered series. They're just not a bound up copy. And then in third place, tied for third place, we have Beautiful Nightmare by Katie Robert and My Boyfriends Are All Monsters by Kimberly Lemming. For our subgenres of choice, those who chose to do fantasy, our top subgenres was cozy with 169, romance in second place with 137, urban with 127, epic and high fantasy with 118, and romantasy with 103. I differentiate between these two, and I hope you guys do too. Our top submissions. So we had 333 people submit for fantasy, 1,189 unique titles. In first place, remaining in first place is Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinneman. I'm going to be real. I kind of don't really think this is really necessary fantasy. I would classify this more sci-fi, but there's a blurred line to that. It's fine. If you count it as fantasy, it's cool. I'm allowing it. Obviously, I let it take first place. But in my opinion, not as much fantasy, much more science-y. Anyway, moving up in the ranking is The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. 17 people reading that one. Moving down in the ranking was The Enchanted Greenhouse by Sarah Beth Durst with 15 people. Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher also moving down in its ranking with 14. And moving up in the ranking is Catabasis by R.F. Kwong. For our romance genre, for the subgenres in romance, we had 201 contemporaries, 134 historicals, 132 paranormal, 98 romantasy, and 90 fantasy. Our top titles, we had 250 submissions, so 250 people chose romance. This was also my main one for subgenre challenge. 1,013 titles. The Nevessa Allen series Lights Out remains in first place with its sequel Caught Up, moving up in the ranking with 10. Tying for second place, we had Done and Dusted by Lila Sage and Mate, both moving up in the ranking by Ellie Hazelwood. In third place, we had a 4-way tie with First Time Caller, Swift and Saddled, Bride, and Zom Rom-Com. All right, for our mystery thriller, our top subgenres was we had 48 for cozy, 42 for historical, 36 for crime, 21 for sci-fi, and 16 for paranormal. We had 92 people do the mystery thriller genre with 400 titles. We had With a Vengeance by Riley Sager and Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson, tying for first place. And a 3-way tie for second place, we had Murder by Memory by Olivia Waite, She Didn't See It Coming by Shara LaPena, and We Are All Guilty Here by Karen Slaughter, with only 4 people. 4 duplicates doing that. For our genre of horror, we have paranormal, 51, 46 for gothic, 44 for thriller, 36 for historical, and 33 for sci-fi. Sorry, sometimes I say it that way. We also had 92 people choose to do this one with 380 titles. We have in first place Breathe In, Bleed Out by Brian McCauley, and then a 5-way tie. for second place. We had Blood on Her Tongue by Joanna Van Veen, Hell Followed With Us by Andrew Joseph White, Play Nice by Rachel Harrison, Ring Shout by P. Jelly Clark, and The Unworthy by Augustina Bezterrica. For our nonfiction main genre, which I understand people who are mad at me for saying this is genre. I'm totally sorry for counting it as genre. I didn't know how else to classify this one. But you're right. You're absolutely right, and I agree with you. But our top subcategories, I would say, of nonfiction. We had 20 historical, 14 memoir, 13 biography, 9 for science, and 8 for self-help. We only had 2 duplicates the whole time, and that is One Day Everyone Will Have Always Been Against This, and The Service Berry by Robin Wall Kimmerer. One Day is also by Omar El-Akkad. We had 25 people choose to do nonfiction for their subgenre choice prompt, and 131 unique titles. For literary, we had 23 for historical, 19 for contemporary, 12 for magical realism, 11 for thriller, and 10 for horror. We only had 31 people choose to do literary as far as submission goes. And our top ones moving up in the ranking was Monstrilio by Gerardo Samano Cordova. Sorry, my webcam's kind of blocking where I'm reading. The Wall by Marlon Haushofer. Haushofer? I'm not sure. And then we had a big tie, 7-way tie for second place. So these books all moved down in the ranking. These books all moved up in the ranking. So we have Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, Yellowface by R. Kwong, Sea Scraper. I accidentally cut off the author. But Sea Scraper, what is it? Is it Benjamin something? All right. Endling by Maria Riva, Kindred by Octavia E. Butler, The Antidote by Karen Russell, and The Book of Records by Madeline Thien. This is going to be a long video of me mispronouncing a lot of people's names, and I apologize. All right. Finally, for historical on our main genre, we had 17 for romance, 13 for mystery thriller, 8 for fantasy and literary, tied there, and 7 also tying adventure and thriller. We had 24 people choose to do historical for their genre, and it's a 9-way tie, 10-way tie, no, 11-way tie, I can count. 108 titles uniquely here. So we had so many. We had 11/22/63 by Stephen King, Cousin Kate by Georgette Heyer, Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid, Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell, Burial Plot, I cut off that one too, I apologize, Wayward by Amelia Hart, The Sentimentalist by Johanna Skibsrud. I'm so bad. The Paris Express by Emma Donahue, Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini, Alice Cares the Chrysanthemum Tiger, and The Frozen River by Ariel Lahon. We'll see. And then sci-fi. Our top subgenres were 51 dystopian, 30 cozy, 19 thriller, 18 romance, and 16 apocalyptic. We had 76 people choose to do sci-fi, 307 titles in total, with Martha Wells' All Systems Red, Murderbot, in number 1, tying with Automatic Noodle by Annalee Newitz. In second place, we have Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. And in third place, tying for third place, Murder by Memory by Olivia Waite, and The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. All right, moving on to our series staircase, our top standalones. We had 885 submissions, 727 titles. Remaining in first place is Blood Over Brighthaven by M.L. Wang. In second place, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. I can't say it without trying to sing something. I don't know why. And then moving up in the ranking, we had Sword of Kaigan by M.L. Wang. And a 3-way tie for fourth place, we had Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry, Brandon Sanderson's Warbreaker, and Piranesi by Susanna Clark. For our duologies, we had 743 submissions, 425 titles. We have A Song for the Wild Built, which is the Monk and Robot. Sorry, Monk and Robot's the actual series title, duology title by Becky Chambers. Moving into first place with 35 people reading it. Moving down in the ranking is The Shepherd King duology by Rachel Gillig. Letters of Enchantment in the third place by Rebecca Ross. And moving down in the ranking is Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. And as well tying with, it's called Crimson Moth for Heartless Hunter. Crimson Moth by Kristen Ciccarelli. And what's the title of it? What's the duology title? It's not Parable of the Sower as the title. And now I forgot what it is. My bad, but it starts with that one. You know what it is. Anyway, it moved up in the ranking. Trilogies, we have Emily Wilde moving up in the ranking. 21 people reading that by Heather Fawcett. What Moves the Dead, which is, oh gosh, I forget. Something. Sword. Something. I'm so bad. I should have just written the actual title of the trilogy, the series title. Anyway, it's that one. The What Moves the Dead, What Stalks the Night, Thingamajig by T. Kingfisher. Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins, also tying for second place. We have Ruinous, it says it right there, Ruinous Love Trilogy by Brynn Weaver, and Binti by Nnedi Okorafor in third place with 11 people reading it. For our quadrilogies or more, we of course Murderbot in number 1, Dungeon Crawler Carl in number 2, Game Changers for number 3, moving up in the rankings. 17 people started reading that. Discworld for 11, and The Raving Boys and Wayward Children. It's so hard sometimes to remember all these series titles off the top of my head. Anyway, that's them. Moving on to award season. We had 598 submissions and 600 titles for the entrance. The most common awards, remember we said Goodreads didn't count, was 147 for the BookTube prize, 58 for the Kirkus prize, 55 for SPIFBO, 32 for the Booker prize, tied with Hugo Award. Our top entrance was Yellowface by R.F. Kuang, followed by Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, followed in a three-way tie with Clara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro, My Boss is the Devil by Ben Schenkman, go check this one out, it's very fun, and Piranesi by Susanna Clark. For our semi-finalists, we had 590 submissions, 625 titles, most commonly using Goodreads is now available here, 385 Goodreads choice, 119 for the Booker Prize, 69 for BookTube Prize, 47 for SPIFBO, and 30 for the National Book Award. Our top book, moving into first place, was Universality by Natasha Brown. Benjamin Wood, there we go, Sea Scraper, Benjamin Wood. See, it would come up again. We get it there. 12 people reading that, remaining in second place. Moving down, we have The South by Tosh Ah and Cursed Cocktails by S.L. Rowland moving up, and tying for fourth place. We have Hunchback by Sao Ichikawa, The God of the Woods by Liz Moore, The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy by Brigitte Knightley, and Tourist Season by Brynn Weaver moving up in the rankings. For our finalists, we had 674 submissions, 906 titles. Our most common being, again, Goodreads with 493, 131 used the National Book Award, 112 used Hugo, 110 used the Booker Prize, and 53 used the Nebula. Our top finalists moving into first place was Audition by Katie Kitamura, and then a three-way tie for second place. We had Quicksilver by Callie Hart, Martyr by Kaveh Akbar, and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. And in third place, The River Has Roots by Amal El Motar. For our winners in award season, we had 708 submissions, 700 titles, 391 Goodreads Choice, 120 Hugo Awards, 69 for the Booker Prize, 54 for the Nebula, and 43 for the Locus. Our top winners is The Wedding People by Alison Nespach, tied with James by Percival Everett. Moving up in the rankings, all these, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, and Not Quite Dead Yet, and Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid moving down in the ranking. For our TBR game, we had 652 unique submissions, 3,950 titles. Our top bookish game, TBR game, was Lord of the Reeds 2, with 89 people reading it. Wheel of TBR, 78 people did that one. 42 people did Deck of TBR. And then tying, we had TBR Bluff and Lord of the Reeds 1 with 23 people. Some people did not specify their Lord of the Reeds, so harder to really get the accuracy there. But our top books were Mate by Ali Hazelwood and The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. In second place, we have Dungeon Crawler Carl and Atmosphere. And in third place, we have Bury Our Bones of the Midnight Soil and Susanna Clark's Piranesi, Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry, and The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. For our last 10 years, for 2015, we had 628 submissions, 394 titles. Are in first place, moving up in the ranking before the coffee gets cold, by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. In second place, we have A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. In third place, we have Binti by Nnedi Okorafor, A Curious Beginning by Deanna Rayborn, Nimona by N. Stevenson, and The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin, all tying for fourth place there with 12 people reading them. For 2016, we had 733 submissions, 468 unique titles. Moving up the ranking is Beartown by Frederick Bachman. Please take note of how you spell Frederick Bachman. I'm seeing it already in her Kid 3 stuff. In second place, we have Every Heart a Doorway by Shauna McGuire and Scythe by Neil Schusterman. And tying for third place, we have Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata, Empire Stores by Sarah J. Maas, My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendricks, and When Breath Becomes Air by Paul Kawanithy. Kalanithi, sorry. I can read. For 2017, we had 736 submissions, 481 titles. Remaining in first place is All Systems Red by Martha Wells. Moving up the ranking, we have Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid, Tender as the Flesh by Augustina Basterica, Sarah J. Maas's Tower of Dawn moving down in the ranking, and tying for last place, we have Stone Sky by N.K. Jemisin, If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio, Jade City by Fonda Lee, and An Unkindness of Ghosts by Rivers Solomon. For 2018, 760 submissions, 483 titles. Remaining in first place is Game Changer by Rachel Reed, Artificial Conditioned by Martha Wells, Rogue Protocol, also by Martha Wells, Heartstopper Volume 1 by Alice Oseman, Sword Heart by T. Kingfisher, and My Sister, the Serial Killer by Oyenken Braithwaite. 2019, 756 submissions, 495 titles. We, of course, have Heated Rivalry by Rachel Reed. Then tying in second place is Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. And This Is How You Lose the Time War by Amal El Motar and Max Gladstone. Moving down in the ranking is Daisy Jones in the 6th. And The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. Is that how you say that? Michaelides? Michaelides. I think it's Michaelides. All right, 2020, 787 submissions, 511 titles. Dungeon Crawler Carl, rating supreme, 33 people. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab for 17 people. The Thursday Murder Club, 13 people, moving up in the ranking by Richard Osman. The Ballad of Songs and Snakes by Suzanne Collins, and Beach Read by Emily Henry, tying for 4th place. For 2021, a clear ranking. Here we go. Finally, nobody tied. Carl's Doomsday Scenario by Matt Dimon. Project Hail Mary by Andy Leweir. Fugitive Telemetry by Martha Wells. A Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers. And Role Model by Rachel Reed. For 2022, 824 submissions, 604 titles. We have The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. Please take note of how Frida spells her name, just for everybody else reading it. Part of Your World by Amy Jimenez. What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. And The Long Game by Rachel Reed. For 2023, we have some ties this time again. We had 850 submissions, 616 titles, 2 Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig winning this one, with a 3-way tie between Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer, Blood Over Brighthaven by M.L. Wang, and Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver. Tying for 3rd place is Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldry, and None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. For 2024, reigning supreme is The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst, tied with, moving up in the ranking, Bride by Ellie Hazelwood. In second place, we have We Used to Live Here by Marcus Kluwer and Lights Out by Nevessa Allen. In third place, we have Funny Story by Emily Henry, The God of the Woods by Liz Moore, and This Inevitable Ruin by Matt Dinman. There we go. For 2025, we have 854 submissions, 612 titles. Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins, reigning supreme. Catabasis by R.F. Kwong. Caught Up by Nevessa Allen. Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. The Crash by Frida McFadden. And Deep End by Allie Hazelwood. And finally, in 2026, Half His Age by Jeanette McCurdy. Through the Gates of Garnet and Gold by Shauna McGuire. Agnes Aubert's Mystical Cat Shelter by Heather Fawcett. My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney. And The Poet Empress by Shen Tao. We had 437 submissions and only 300 unique titles for this one. Woo! Moving on to our adaptations. For movie adaptation, we had 759 submissions, 403 titles. We had 40%, roughly 40.7% do both read the original and watch the movie. 26.9% only watch the movie. 32.3% read the original. Our top movies are Thursday Murder Club. 46 people did this one. Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Yay! Everybody else who hasn't watched it yet, go watch it. It's so good. The book is amazing, but the movie did a really good job. People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry, which just came out as a movie. Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. And Frankenstein. Sorry, by Mary Shelley. For our TV show, we had 679 unique submissions. Again, about 40% did both. 33% read the original and 25 watched the TV show. So we had 363 titles for the TV show. There's a difference in these ones. The other ones matched up perfectly except for a few. So this is one where it doesn't match up totally. But Heated Rivalry. No one's surprised that Heated Rivalry won this one. Murderbot then, All Systems Red by Martha Wells. Heartstopper Volume 1, Daisy Jones and the Six, and A Discovery of Witches moved, actually There should have been a little guy up here. Sorry, I forgot the little up mark. But Discovery of Witches wasn't on the original one, so that's by Deborah Harkness. So for our actual TV show, so those were for people who read the book. This is for watching the show only. We had 79 people do Heated Rivalry, 60 do Murderbot, 21 do Bridgerton, unspecified which season, I will say. So overall, all Bridgerton. Same with Heartstopper, overall. Percy Jackson and the Olympians, and The Summer I Turned Pretty. 15 did that one. All right, for animation, this is what you can tell if I say the titles here, they matched up then. So 636 submissions, 302 titles, about 37.4% did both, 34.8% read the original, 27.8% watched the animation. We have Top Dog, Howl's Moving Castle, followed by The Wild Robot. I use this one too. Kiki's Delivery Service, Coraline, and Nimona. For our graphic novel, we're going to have some changes on this one. So 59.3% read the adaptation, 17.6% read the original, and 23% did both. Our top graphic novels, these are the actual graphic novels, is Raven Boys, the new graphic novel version, followed by Parable of the Sower, The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, Kindred by Octavia E. Butler, and Lore Olympus by Rachel Smythe. Based on the originals, this is what we have for, again, The Raven Boys. We had Anna Green Gables. There's a lot of different Anna Green Gables graphic novels out there. Parable of the Sower, Handmaid's Tale, and Kindred, following suite. All right, so with our musical, 605 submissions, 25.6% did both, 38.4% watched the musical, and 36.1% read the original. We have for the actual musical, this is the musical, we had Wicked, 76 people did Wicked, 40 did Matilda, 23 did Phantom, 22 did Hamilton, and 19 did Fun Home and Les Miserables. 190 different musical titles. For the source material, we had Wicked by Gregory Maguire, 89 people did that one, 41 did Matilda, 23 did Phantom, 20 did Alexander Hamilton, and 19 did Fun Home, for 340 different titles that have been adapted into musicals. All right, for our play, 600 submissions for the play. 22% did both. 23% just watched the play, and 54% read the original. Or I guess really 55. It's 54.9. All right, for our play, this is for the source material, I believe, right? Yes, this is our source material. We have The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde, A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, Much Ado About Nothing by Shakespeare, Macbeth by Shakespeare, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, and Dracula by Bram Stoker. For the actual plays, we have The Importance of Being Earnest, A Christmas Carol, Macbeth, Much Ado About Nothing, and Pride and Prejudice, the play version. 316 different plays, by the way, for this. Also, highly recommend the David Tennant and Catherine Tate version. I think you can watch it on YouTube. It's my favorite one. It's my favorite play adaptation of it so far. We'll see. There was another one, I forget, that was also done a while ago that I really liked as well. All right. 682 submissions for our modern retelling. We had 503 people, 73.5% read the adaptation only, 4% read the original, and 151, or 22%, did both. So for our original in the modern retellings, we have Snow White, 52 people doing that, 42 people doing Pride and Prejudice, 33 doing The Fall of the House of Usher, 31 doing Beauty and the Beast, and 23 doing Cinderella. For the actual adaptation, or the actual retelling, we have Hemlock and Silver by Teen Kingfisher, which is Snow White, What Moves the Dead by Teen Kingfisher, which is Fall of the House of Usher, James by Percival Everett, which is Huckleberry Finn. Or is it Huckleberry Finn? Or Tom Sawyer? Tom Sawyer. Sorry, Tom Sawyer. The Favorites by Lane Fargo, which I believe is Wuthering Heights, and Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver, which is David Copperfield, I believe. Anyway, 360 titles there. For the web series, the thing that confused so many people, and we needed to do so much cleanup because Netflix did not count for these. That's not what it was. I'm sorry for the confusion. I'm an elder millennial, and I know what it is. All right. So we had 557 submissions for this. Pretty even split. Look at this. 30%, 33%, 36% doing both reading the original and watching the web series. Pretty fun. So for our original source material, we had Pride and Prejudice, 60 people. Carmilla, 54. Legend of Sleepy Hollow, 26 people. Much Ado About Nothing, 22. And tying in last place, we had Emma, For Whom the Bell Tolls, and The Secret Garden, 196 titles. And for the actual web series, Lizzie Bennet Diaries, reigning supreme. 72 people watched it. It's great. I love it a lot. Carmilla as well. Headless, a Sleepy Hollow story from Shipwrecked. Nothing Much to Do. Also one of my favorite web series of all time. And then The Morally Grey Fantasy Villain's Personal Assistant, which was for assistant to the villain, because apparently the author created an entire TikTok series of the books before they were published, I guess, maybe. I'm not sure of the timeline on it, but yes. There you go. 187 different web series out there. Ta-da! All right, moving on. Disability Rep. We had 879 unique submissions and 2,015 titles. Our top disabilities represented were autism, 320, amputee or limb loss, 255, deaf, or 204, 189 featuring anxiety, and 164 featuring blindness. Where our top books was Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young, Calabasas by R.F. Kuang, Hunchback by Sao Ichikawa, Get a Life Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert, and Death of the Author by Nettie Okorafor. For our Heritage Months, we had 628 submissions, 389 titles for AAPI Heritage, topping it with Bat Eater and Other Names for Cora Zhang by Kylie Lee Baker, Yellowface by R.F. Kuang, They Called Us Enemy by George Takei, which I think is a newer release, because this one shot up in the rankings, Blood Over Bright Haven by M.L. Wang, and Babel by R.F. Kuang as well. I thought, why did she call it Babel? It's not Babel, it's Babel. Sorry. I get mad when I hear Babel, because I'm like, no. It needs two B's to be Babel. Anyway, fine. All right, 585 submissions, 276 titles for Arab Heritage. We have One Day Everyone Will Have Always Been Against This by Omar El Akkad, The Dream Hotel by Laila Lalami, Frankenstein in Baghdad by Ahmed Saadawi, Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah, The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini, and Huda FRU by Huda Fahmy. For Black History, we had 641 submissions, 420 titles. James by Percival Everett. I keep thinking I'm going to say Percival Everall. Sorry. Kindred by Octavia E. Butler. Ring Shout by P. Jelly Clark. Oathbound by Tracy Dion. And a 5-way tie for Legendborn, also by Tracy Dion. The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. Parable of Sower by Octavia E. Butler. The Color Purple by Alice Walker. And The Reformatory by Tananarive Due. I believe I'm saying that name correctly now. 712 submissions and 462 titles for Disability Pride. Pretty similar to what we saw with a few other books sprinkled in, but still Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. Disability Visibility by Alice Wong. Hunchback by Sao Ichikawa. Disfigured by Amanda Leduc. Get a Life by Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. And True Biz by Sarah Novick. For Hispanic Heritage, 674 submissions, 333 titles. We have number 1 being Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. The Possession of Alba Diaz. I didn't even know if I said that name right, because like my brain short-circuited there. The Possession of Alba Diaz by Isabel Cañas. The Bewitching by Silvia Moreno Garcia. Cemetery Boys by Aidan Thomas. And The Hacienda, also by Isabel Cañas. You can see our top authors for Hispanic Heritage, really. All right. Indigenous Heritage, we had 637 submissions, 260 titles, with The Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones, Never Whistle at Night, edited by Shane Hawk and Theodore C. Van Alst Jr., Love is a War Song by Danica Naya, The Service Berry by Robin Wall Kimmerer, and The Truth According to Ember by Danica Nava. All right. For our Jewish Heritage, we had 595 submissions, 352 titles. Remaining in first place, I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman, The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank, The Safe Keep by Yael van der Wooden. I hope I said that right. Night by Eli Wiesel, and The Matzo Ball by Jean Meltzer. For Pride, 641 submissions, 503 titles. We had Game Changer by Rachel Reed, Tying with Gender Queer by Maya Kobabe, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab, One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston, Loveless by Alice Oseman, and Stag Dance by Tori Peters. This was a new one to shoot up on the list. Excited to see that one. Looks kind of creepy. A little spooky. It looks a little spooky, in my opinion. We'll see. Women's History, we had 644 submissions, 493 titles. Atmosphere Dominating Again by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman. How to Kill a Witch, The Patriarchy's Guide to Silencing Women by Zoe Venditozzi and Claire Mitchell. The Radium Girls by Kate Moore. Invisible Women by Caroline Criado Perez. And The Women by Kristen Hanna. All right, moving on to our translation challenge. We had 765 unique submissions, 1,493 titles. Our top languages being translated was Japanese with 301, 203 for French, 170 Spanish, 149 Korean, and 144 Swedish. All right, our top books being I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman, which I believe was translated French, Friedrich Bachmann, My Friends, which was Swedish, if I remember. Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi, Japanese. Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. I can't say. Don't ask me to speak in French right now. I'm too tired. Was also a French. And then The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, which I believe is Spanish. All right, for Around the World, North America, 802 submissions, 704 titles. We had 678 in the United States, 112 in Canada, 33 in Mexico, and 4 in Trinidad and Tobago. For North America, our top books being With a Vengeance by Riley Sager, First Time Caller by B.K. Borison, Lights Out by Nevessa Allen, Bright Young Women by Jessica Knoll, Caught Up by Nevessa Allen, Automatic Noodle by Annalie Newitz, and The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. For South America, we had 592 submissions, 261 titles, 207 reading from Argentina, 147 for Brazil, 71 for Colombia and Chile, and 43 for Peru. Our top books being, no surprise that Augustina Basterica won this one, Tender is the Flesh and the Unworthy, followed by Temple of Swoon by Joe Segura, 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, and Our Share of Night by Mariana Enriquez. For Africa, 642 submissions, 332 titles, 240 for Nigeria, 107 for Egypt, 64 for South Africa, 48 for Ghana, and 42 for Sierra Leone. Our top book being My Sister the Serial Killer by Oyunkin Braithwaite. 64 people reading that. Cursed Daughters, also by Oyunkin Braithwaite. Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green. Trevor Noah's Born a Crime, and Death of the Author by Nnedi Okorafor. For Europe, we had 808 submissions, 668 titles. I did differentiate the UK a little bit here just to kind of gauge a little better. So we had 338 specifically England, 92 for France, 76 for Italy, 51 for Ireland, and 48 for Germany. Our top book being Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood, followed by Carmilla by J. Sheridan Le Fanu, tying five-way third place, there we go. Thursday Murder Club, Blood on Her Tongue, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, To Clutch a Razor, and Foster by Claire Keegan. For Asia, we had 795 submissions, 495 titles. Japan winning 286, 123 for China, 100 for South Korea, and 48 for India, and 23 for Iran. We have Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi, Strange Pictures by Uketsu, Water Moon by Samantha Soto Yambao, Strange Houses by Uketsu, and The Vegetarian by Hong Kong. Woohoo! For Oceania, 652 submissions, 394 titles, 558 were set in Australia, 74 New Zealand, 9 in Fiji, and 4 for Papua New Guinea and Kiribati. Our top books was Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone by Benjamin Stevenson, The Sirens by Amelia Hart, Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey, An Academic Affair by Jodi McAllister, and Everyone in This Bank is a Thief by Benjamin Stevenson. Our Antarctica bonus, you did not have to do this one, but those who did got a bonus for doing it. 355 submissions, 113 titles, with, again, Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey, taking the cake. How the Penguins Saved Veronica by Hazel Pryor, At the Mountains of Madness by H.P. Lovecraft, Where'd You Go, Bernadette by Maria Semple, and Inkblood Sister Scribe by Emma Torres. For the Even Bigger Rainbow. Here we go. 787 submissions for Red, 535 Red titles. We have Hop for Slayer by Ali Hazelwood. One Day Everyone Will Have Always Been Against This. Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. What Feasts at Night by T. Kingfisher. Nevessa Allen's Caught Up, and Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. Although I'm borderline orange. Borderline. I think it's enough red. It's enough red. All right, for our orange cover, 776 submissions, 559 titles. People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. The Undercutting of Rosie and Adam by Megan Bannon. Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. Spread Me by Sarah Gailey. The Martian by Andy Weir. And Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. For Yellow, 749 submissions, 509 titles. Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green, followed by Yellowface by R.F. Kwong. I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. Murder by Kaveh Akbar. I'm so sorry. And The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. For green, 784 submissions, 554 titles. Strange Pictures by Uketsu, The God of the Woods by Liz Moore, Spicy Little Curses by J.T. Gessinger, The Bewitching by Silvia Moreno Garcia, and Trust of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. The dreaded teal. These are all great teal covers. Y'all did great. 756 submissions, 518 titles. We have Girl Dinner by Olivia Blake, Automatic Noodle by Annalie Newitz, Dating and Dragons by Christy Boyce, A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. For our light blue, we have Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, This Is How You Lose a Time War by Amal El-Motar and Max Gladstone, Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins, Good Spirits by B.K. Borison, Book Lovers by Emily Henry. And for our blue cover, we have Falling by Christina Lauren, The Housemaid by Frida McFadden, It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey, 10,000 Stitches by Olivia Atwater, The Will of the Many, Throne of Glass, Little Prince, Two Can Play, and The Ragpicker King by Cassandra Clare. Unfortunately made it onto this list. 809 submissions, 627 titles. I don't know if I said that already. But moving on to purple, we have Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins, The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson, Space Vampire by Ruby Dixon, Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer, and Tourist Season by Bryn Weaver. 788 submissions, 519 titles. For pink, 774 submissions, 508 titles. We have Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston, First Time Caller by B.K. Borison, A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandana, Wild Love by Elsie Silver, and Bunny by Mona Awad. Black covers. We have 824 submissions, 646 titles. Piranesi by Susanna Clark, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Wow, Susanna Clark, Suzanne Collins. There we go. The Ghostwriter by Julie Clark. Again, Clarks everywhere. Clarks. Babel by R.F. Kwong, and The Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix. For a white cover, 779 submissions, 602 titles. We Used to Live Here by Marcus Kluwer, Play Nice by Rachel Harrison, The House of My Mother by Shari Frankie, What Stalks the Deep by T. Kingfisher, and The Correspondent by Virginia Evans. For a silver cover, we only had a top 4 for this. A Court of Silver Flames, unfortunately, by Sarah J. Maas. I say unfortunately because I don't like Sarah J. Maas. Don't get offended. Callie Hart's Quicksilver, Blue 7 by our very own Michelle Inouye, and All Systems Red by Martha Wells. We had 715 submissions, 484 titles. All right. This is for silver and gold because they were combined together. I should have done this submission form differently, but I didn't, and I apologize. For our gold covers, Universality by Natasha Brown, A Language of Dragons by S.F. Williamson, The Favorites by Lane Fargo, Heavenly Tyrant by Shiranjay Zhao, and The Briar Club by Kate Quinn. Ta-da! We also had two predominants that are both silver and gold, which is A Treacherous Curse by Deanna Rainbourne and Blood of Hercules by Jasmine Voss. I thought that was just like, oh look, it's got both on it. Good job. For our multicolor covers, we had 748 submissions, 528 titles. You can see our kind of distribution of who had the most. We really had the most blue popping up. So a lot of blue, green, yellow, white, red, orange, yellow. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's all you needed was this many. So good to see. Love to see this distribution. This is exactly what I wanted out of this prompt. So Of Monsters and Mainframes by Barbara Truelove, Chuck Tingle's Lucky Day, The Ministry of Time by Kalian Bradley. I'm so sorry. Orbital by Samantha Harvey, and This Princess Kills Monsters by Rai Herman. Highly recommend. All right, moving on to Make a Quote. Our top quotes were, As You Wish, Be Yourself, Everyone Else Is Already Taken, and Not All Who Wander Are Lost. We had 508 submissions, 4,214 titles. Well done. Our top words in quotes, the, is, you, I. 224 thes, 139 ises, 126 yous, 122 and 112 i's. It makes me think of that scene from Robin Hood Men in Tights where the Sheriff of Nottingham is King Illegal Forest. It's is. That's what it always reminds me of every time I see this. Anyway, it's fine. All right. Our top books for this is I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman, Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green, and Then There Were None by Agatha Christie, The Will of the Many by James Islington, and One Day Everyone Will Have Always Been Against Us by Omar El Akkad. For our spooky creatures, vampires, 773 submissions, 333 titles. Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. 88 people read that one for vampires. Hot for Slayer in second place by Allie Hazelwood. Carmilla in third place. Bride in fourth place. And The Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones in fifth place. For shifters, we had a few different shifters. 766 submissions, 440 titles. 384 were werewolves, but we had 44 bear shifters, 41 dragon shifters, 32 generic shape shifters, and 19 cat shifters. Very fun. We have Mate and Bride dominating the first and second spot. Someone You Can Build a Nest In by John Wiswell. Then When the Wolf Comes Home by Nat Cassidy. And Paladin Strength by T. Kingfisher. Actually, I need to read this one. I'm about to. So I'm like, what's the shifter in this one? So we'll see. All right, Magic users, we had 810 submissions, 574 titles, which both Sangumandanas, Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, which somehow this moved up in the export, don't know how, but anyway, and A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. In third place, we have The Bewitching by Silvia Moreno Garcia, Catabastus by R.F. Kwong, and A Sorceress Comes to Call by T. Kingfisher. For the fair folk, 722 submissions, 392 titles. Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett, dominating first place. The River Has Roots by Amal El Motar. Quicksilver by Callie Hart. Compendium of Lost Tales, also by Heather Fawcett. And then Thornhedge by T. Kingfisher. For our spirits/demons, 767 submissions, 502 titles. Good Spirits by B.K. Borson, number 1. Catabastus, R.F. Kwong. Bat Eater and Other Names for Cora Zhang by Kylie Lee Baker. Play Nice by Rachel Harrison. And Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. All right, for merfolk, 688 submissions, 287 titles. I'm so happy so many people read When the Tides Held the Moon by Vanessa Vita Kelly. Excellent, excellent, excellent book. The Deep by Rivers Solomon. Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant, The Salt Grows Heavy by Cassandra Kaw, and The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. For zombie, we have Zom Romcom. Actually, I need to make a marker. There we go. Zom Romcom by Olivia Day, Dating After the End of the World, What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher, Cattywampus by Ashvon Otterloo, and A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangumandana. And for our other creature, we had 799 submissions, 617 titles. Our top other creatures was 98 aliens, 77 dragons, 55 demons, 43 monsters, and 39 gods. It's okay, Pie Pie. It's okay. You're okay. Do you want to go up, up, up? You want to go up? Where do you want to be, honey? You're okay. Okay? Oh my goodness. Oh no, it's empty. Ah. Okay. Continuing forward. All right, our top books for other creature was The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig, Project Hail Mary by Annie Weir, Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry, Tusk Love by Taya Guanzon, and tying for fifth place we have Brigands and Bread Knives, Shield of Sparrows, and Falling by Christina Lauren. Moving on to Become the Avatar for Earth Kingdom and Earth in the title. We had 753 submissions, 96 unique titles with Earth in it. So we have On Earth, We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Yuvong. The Heaven and Earth Grocery Store by James McBride. Servant of Earth by Sarah Hawley. Crescent City's House of Earth and Blood is the actual title by Sarah J. Maas. And Earth's End by Elise Kova. For Earth on the cover, we had The God of the Woods by Liz Moore, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V. Schwab, Hazelthorn by C.G. Drews, The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst, and tying for last place we have Howl's Moving Castle, The Enchanted Greenhouse, Out of the Woods, and The Compound. For Water Tribe, for Water in the title, we had 800 submissions, 120 unique titles. We have Water Moon by Samantha Sotoyombao, The Spear Cuts Through Water by Simon Jimenez, Blood in the Water by Tiffany D. Jackson, Water's Wrath by Elise Kova, The Covenant of Water by Abraham Verghese, not sure, and just Water by John Boyne. For Water on the cover, we have 800 submissions and 588 titles. We have The Wedding People by Allison Espach, Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey, My Friends by Frederick Bachman, Deep End by Allie Hazelwood, and Problematic Summer Romance by Allie Hazelwood. For Fire Nation, in the title, 759 submissions, 158 titles. We have The Night Ends with Fire by KX Song, We have Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins, A Fire Endless by Rebecca Ross, The Fire Next Time by James Baldwin, Fire Exit by Morgan Talty, and Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Booley. For Fire on the Cover, we had 371 unique titles, and that is King of Ashes by S.A. Cosby, Blood over Brighthaven by M.L. Wang, The Ghostwriter by Julie Clark, Nothing to See Here by Kevin Wilson, and Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. For our Air Nomad, Air in the title, we had 734 submissions, 81 titles. When Breath Becomes Air by Paul Kalanithi, Castle in the Air by Diana Wynne Jones, Punching the Air by Ibi Zaboy and Yusuf Salam, Air Awakens by Elise Kova, and Into Thin Air by John Krakauer. For Air on the Cover, 474 unique titles. We had Taylor Jenkins Reid's Atmosphere, Sky Daddy by Kate Folk, Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros, The Gate of the Feral Gods by Matt Dinneman, and Wind and Truth by Brendan Sanderson. For our readathons, I think this is the one that might have the most unique titles in it, but we had 726 submissions, 5,485 unique titles for this one. 125 of you chose to do Aurelium, 79 did Summerween, 25 did TBR Harvest or the Reindeer Readathon, and 22 did the Tarot Readathon. All right, our top prompts that were coming throughout this was 204 had a read manga every day for a month, 100 did read a 100 manga, 99 did a free pick, 94 did horror/thriller, and 93 did read in the dark at night. All right, our top books in the readathon, however, was A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandana, Calabasas by R.F. Kwong, Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher, Play Nice by Rachel Harrison, The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig, and Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. For Our Animals Are Better, we had 823 submissions, 571 titles for House Pets. Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinneman, Carl's Doomsday Scenario, also by Matt Dinneman for Princess Donut. Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher, Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood, Starter Villain by John Scalzi, and Lights Out by Nevessa Allen. So, cats, you win. You unfortunately win. 527 cats versus 443 doggos. All right. For our exotic pets, we had 707 submissions and 477 titles. Hemlock and Silver, again, for T. Kingfisher. Accomplice to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer. Isles of the Emberdark by Brandon Sanderson. Cattywampus by Ash Van Otterloo. Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer. Paladin's Grace by T. Kingfisher. And Tourist Season by Bryn Weaver. 101 snakes, 87 parrots, 37 frogs, 33 foxes, and 31 ravens. For farm animals, we had 743 submissions, 465 titles. We, of course, have Animal Farm by George Orwell, 3 Bags Full by Leonie Swan, A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandana, Done and Dusted by Lila Sage, and Charlotte's Web by E.B. White. For our farm animals, we had 451 horses, 193 pigs, 155 chickens, 93 sheep, and 92 cows. For our wild animals, we had 775 submissions, 544 titles, 42 titles. I can talk. This is a long thing to talk, by the way, guys. We have A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, again, Sangu Mandana, Open Throat by Henry Hoke, Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey, Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees by Horvath Otsmain. I can't read it, but that book. It's that book. Bat Eater and Other Names for Corazane by Kylie Lee Baker, Mate by Ali Hazelwood, and Raising Hair by Chloe Dalton. Our wild animals, we had 123 birds, 94 wolves, 83 foxes, 68 rabbits, and 63 bears. Woohoo! For our zoo animals, 694 submissions, 422 titles. We had Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt, Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton, The Phoenix Keeper by S.A. McLean, I Got Abducted by Aliens and Now I'm Trapped in a Rom-Com by Kimberly Lemming, and Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey. We had 74 lions, 63 tigers, 62 octopuses, and 50 dinosaurs, and 42 bears for zoo animals. Moving on to the even queerer alphabet for gay, we had 723 submissions, 486 titles, Heartstopper Volume 1 in particular, leading the way, Bury Your Gaze by Tuck Tingle, then followed by Heated Rivalry by Rachel Reed, The House in the Cerulean Slee by TJ Klune, and Game Changer. I think I said Cerulean Slee. Cerulean Sea. Blah, 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 blah. I should do vocal warm-ups before I do these. Like girls on limited time and has to go to work in a bit. All right, for lesbian, we had 707 submissions, 415 titles. Atmosphere in first place. Barrier Bones in the Midnight Soil in second place. We Used to Live Here by Marcus Kluwer. Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry. And This Is How You Lose the Time War by Amal El-Motar and Max Gladstone. For Buy and Pan, we had 707 submissions as well, 441 titles. Lucky Day by Chuck Tingle, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid, Heated Rivalry by Rachel Reed, Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston, Well Actually by Maisie Eddings, and Common Goal by Rachel Reed. A lot of Rachel Reeds on these. For Trans, we had 627 submissions, 295 titles. Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas winning it. And They Were Roommates by Paige Powers. The In-Between Bookstore by Edward Underhill. You Weren't Meant to Be Human by Andrew Joseph White. The Build a Boyfriend Project by Mason Deaver. Ta-da! All right, 536 submissions and 98 titles for Intersex. We had Catty Wampus by Ash Van Otterloo, The Deep by Rivers Solomon, Icarus by Kay Ankrum, Across the Green Grass Fields, hi, I can read, by Shauna McGuire, and Middlesex by Jeffrey Eugenides. We have for Ace, we had 611 submissions, 246 titles. Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews, Loveless by Alice Oseman, Every Heart or Dory by Shauna McGuire, Alazzo by Darcy Little Badger, and Ace by Angela Chen. I think the only one I haven't read so far is Alazzo, and I need to read it. It's right there. Just need to do it. All right. For Polyamorous, we had 607 submissions, 321 titles. Iron Widow Taking the Cake by Sharon-J. Zhao, Warrior Princess Assassin by Bridget Kemmerer, To Be Taught If Fortunate by Becky Chambers, A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson, and The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. For non-binary, we had 650 submissions, 288 titles. What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher in first place. A Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers. Gender Queer by Maya Kobabe. What Stalks the Deep by T. Kingfisher. And I Wish You All the Best by Mason Deaver. For Gender Fluid and Two-Spirit, we had 567 submissions, 201 titles. We had Johnny Appleseed by Joshua Whitehead, The Prince and the Dressmaker by Jen Wang, Love After the End by edited by Josh Whitehead, The Honeys by Ryan Lasala, and Our Infinite Fates by Laura Steven. All right, going into I Miss HRCYED 1. Our most popular prompts from HRCYED 1 was the A to Z challenge, with 126 of you doing that one. 97 did seasonal reads. 78 did the 500 plus page book in a day. 66 did the People You Know, and 55 did the Spell Your Full Name. Our submissions, we have 567 and 201 titles. The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laura Gilmore. Problematic Summer Romance by Allie Hazelwood. Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews. And all tying in last place here, we have A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, Barrier Bones and Midnight Soil, Rom-Com, Good Spirits, Hated Rivalry, and The Enchanted April. For our BIPOC, we had 745 submissions, 3,222 unique titles. We had 1,026 Black authors, 556 Chinese authors, 450 Japanese authors, 345 Indian authors, and 225 Nigerian authors. Our top books being A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, Catabasis by Arif Kwong, The River Has Roots by Amal El-Motar, Bat Eater and Other Names Cora Zhang by Kylie Lee Baker, and Julie Chang is I Can Talk. Julie Chan is Dead by Lian Zhang. There we go. All right, for our new releases for May, 527 submissions, 290 titles. We had Platform Decay by Martha Wells, A Parade of Horribles by Matt Dinneman, The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig, Lift Me Up by Millie Johnson, and The Tapestry of Fate by Shannon Chakraborty. I just got my copy finally. But you can also see we asked about 5-star reads. So overall, with these, it does look like Platform Decay with 11 5 stars has the highest percentile on if it was an enjoyable book or not, followed by Tapestry of Fate, followed by A Parade of Horribles. For our June releases, we had 599 submissions, 358 titles with Barrier Bones of the Midnight Soil, Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, Of Monsters and Main Springs by Barbara Truelove, I Can Talk. I'm slowly losing my mind the longer we go, by the way. Harvest Season by Brynn Weaver, With a Vengeance by Riley Sager, and The Unicorn Hunters by Catherine Arden. So our top percentage-wise is Harvest Season, with a 45% approval rating, I would say. It's like they're all politicians. This book has the highest approval rating, according to you all. For July, we had 859 submissions, 377 titles, Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, The Enchanted Greenhouse, Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson, Tusk Love by Tia Guanzon, and The Bewitching by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. Who's our top most approved is both The Bewitching and A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. I personally would highly recommend A Witch's Guide over The Bewitching because of a very detailed, not cool thing in The Bewitching. Trigger warning. All right. 770 submissions, 299 titles for August. We have Catabasis by R.F. Kwong, Accomplice to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer, Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher, Automatic Noodle by Annalee Newitz, and Zom Rom-Com by Olivia Dade. Our highest approval rating being Accomplice to the Villain, with a 36% approval rating by y'all. All right, for September, we had 728 submissions, 334 titles, with Play Nice by Rachel Harrison, Wildcard by Elsie Silver, Hot for Slayer by Allie Hazelwood, What Stalks the Deep by T. Kingfisher, Tourist Season by Bryn Weaver, Among the Burning Flowers by Samantha Shannon, The Impossible Fortune by Richard Osman, and You Weren't Meant to Be Human by Andrew Joseph White. Our top approval rating being Tourist Season by Bryn Weaver with a 40% approval rating. For October, we had 691 submissions, 355 titles. Mate by Allie Hazelwood, Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber, The Intruder by Frida McFadden, All of Us Murderers by KJ Charles, A Mouthful of Dust by Nevo, and Cinder House by Freya Marsky. Our top being A Mouthful of Dust by Nevo with 31% approval rating. All right, November, we had 645 submissions, 297 titles. Brigands and Bread Knives by Travis Baldry, The Strength of the Few by James Islington, Brimstone by Callie Hart, Cursed Daughters by Oyinkan Braithwaite, The House Sapphire by Marissa Meyer, and Violet Thistlethwaite is Not a Villain Anymore by Emily Krempholtz, I think is how you, I can't read that totally, I think that's an E. But our highest approval rating being Strength of the Few with 37%. For December, we had Snake Eater by T. Kingfisher, The Kill Clause by Lisa Unger, and Arcane Inheritance by Camilla Cole, The Mating Game by Lana Ferguson, and We Who Will Die by Stasia Stark. 602 submissions, 265 titles, and our top approval rating being Snake Eater by T. Kingfisher. Woo! For January, we had 573 submissions, 257 titles, Through Gates of Garnet and Gold by Shauna McGuire, Half His Age by Jeanette McCurdy, The Poet Empress by Shen Tao, The Storm by Rachel Hawkins, and Is This a Cry for Help by Emily Austin, our top approval rating being The Poet Empress, which I am about to read. For February, we had 560 submissions, 259 titles. We had Agnes Aubert's Mystical Cat Shelter by Heather Fawcett, How to Kill a Guy in 10 Dates by Shaylee Thompson, and Now Back to You by B.K. Borison, Apparently Sir Cameron Needs to Die by Greer Stothers, and Operation Bounce House by Matt Dinneman. Highest approval rating belonging to Apparently Sir Cameron Needs to Die with 20%. Ba-boom. For March, we had 540 submissions, 259 titles. We have This Story Might Save Your Life by Tiffany Crum, Starshipped by Kat Sebastian, Wolf Worm by T. Kingfisher, Nobody's Baby by Olivia Waite, and The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. Highest approval rating belonging to Starship by Kat Sebastian. No surprise, Kat Sebastian's an amazing writer. All right, April, we had 517 submissions, 258 titles. We have Yesteryear by Carol Claire Burke. The Ending Writes Itself by Evelyn Clark, Rights of the Starling by Devney Perry, We Burn So Bright by TJ Klune, and The Book Witch by Meg Schaefer. Highest approval rating, very close tie between The Book Witch and Rights of the Starling, but Book Witch wins, yay! I still need to read it, I'm excited too though. All right, for the Challenge Yourself. Oh, is this our highest one? I don't remember. Who had higher number? Between Readathon and Challenge Yourself. Maybe Challenge Yourself has more titles, but we had 564 submissions and 5,312 titles. 102 of you were focusing on a backlog, 42 did 50 before 50, 39 classics, 26 did Neck Alley, and 19 were doing a library challenge. Our top books was The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy by Brigitte Knightley, with Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, and Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. For our nonfiction challenge, we had 833 submissions, 2,518 titles. 720 were memoirs, 625 were history, 572 were science, 512 were sociology, and 251 were health. Our top books being Everything is Tuberculosis. 115 of you did that one. One Day Everyone Will Always Have Been Against This, I'm Glad My Mom Died, The House of My Mother, and The Service Berry. Okay, final prompt. on here is my Recs and Reviews. We had 616 submissions, 182 titles for TikTok, shorts, or reels. A lot of you did Everything is Tuberculosis, Dungeon Crawler Carl, Sunrise on the Reaping, Catabasis, and The Teller of Small Fortunes. For my cozy mini reviews, we had 83 titles and 569 submissions for The Enchanted Greenhouse, Blood Over Bright Haven, When the Tides Held the Moon, And They Were Roommates, and Cursed Cocktails. And finally, for the full reading vlog, we had 589 submissions and 161 titles for All Systems Red by Martha Wells, The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig, Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer, Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinneman, and We Could Be So Good by Kat Sebastian. Woo! For HRCYED 2.0, we had 6,096 people participate. Not everybody submitted, obviously. Those numbers would be a lot different. But 6,096 people attempted HRCYED. 449 of you completed it. Haha. Gotcha! That's who also submitted their forms. We had, on average, people read about 143.8 books. The least read to complete that I could verify was definitely like a blackout was 74, and the most read to complete, somebody read 547 books. Well done. The date that was most finished was 41 finished on July 6th, on the last day. June 30th for the 29 of you finished on June 30th, 18 finished on July 5th, 15 finished on June 29th, and 14 finished on June 28th. The average points gathered per person was 1,318.41 points. The least points collected was 23. And the most points collected was 6,402. Well done. For our redemptions, we had 593 rereads redeemed, 243 DNS redeemed, 235 triple ups redeemed, and 162 redeemed shorting a prompt. On average, about 59.35 books were doubled up per person. Top shorted prompts was new releases with 30.9%, adaptations 19.1%, Queerfabet by 13.8%, The Quote by 12.8%, and 11.7% shorted the Q's, Reviews, and Recs, which is like, guys, there was only 3 books. There was only 3 books. Why'd you short it? Because we have very different tastes, probably. All right, our most common indie replacement prompts went into the Make a Quote by 3.2%, award season by 2.5%, 2.1% did new releases, and 1.8% did translation. Our most redeemed secret prompt throughout, most people redeemed the November using a book before HRCYED 2.0 started. 60% of you used that one. 51.8% used August's free triple up. 46.1% used October's extra 250 points. And 33.5% of you used January's modify a rule and May's freebie space. All right. Our favorite prompts overall seem to be 19.4% liked the new releases the most, 17.8% liked spooky creatures, 17.4% liked subgenres, 17.2% liked the bigger rainbow, and 16.3% liked translated. Our least favorite prompts was the adaptations with 30.2%, 18.4% didn't like the awards, 14.7% didn't like the quote, 13.3% also didn't like new releases, and 8.5% didn't like the 24-hour or the nonfiction prompt. Haha. And who's joining HRCYED? 359 will return in HRCYED 3.0. 4,164 people have currently signed up for 3.0. The number still grows every day as people find it. So we'll see at the end of 3.0 how many people actually participated. But that's where we're at. And that's it. Done. No more talking about 2.0. You're done. We're not talking about it any longer. But there you go. That was a lot to talk through. I hope you enjoyed seeing those. Let me know which of those top books. Did you read any of those top books? Were you a special snowflake and got to read stuff that didn't appear on this at all? I'm sure there's quite a few of you because there were so many submissions. There were so many books and stuff. So there you go. HRCYED 2.0 officially closed. Bye.